Southern California Trojans running back Ronald Jones too did it all against Stanford Cardinal, and his boosted draft stock isn't solely due to the 23-yard touchdown scamper he had to put the game on ice in the fourth quarter. His electric on-field ability was apparent against the Cardinal, but his blue-collar, between-the-tackles runs were just as impressive. At his size, and because he's a speedster, it's easy to assume Jones too can run up the middle among the big bodies to get those unexciting but vital 4- and 5-yard gains. Carrying the football 23 times against Stanford, a program known for its ultra-physical defensive fronts, shows he's capable of shouldering a large workload. Taking that a step further, Jones' lightning-quick score to seal the victory demonstrated the high amount of carries didn't wear him down. Let's look at the top 20 NFL prospects in after Week 2 in college football. Reminder: these rankings will get less fluid as the season progresses. Point 1. Mason Rudolph, QB, Oklahoma State. Unsurprisingly, Rudolph and the Cowboys thrashed South Alabama Jaguars on Friday night. Rudolph was poised, scanned the field effortlessly, and utilized the middle of the field all evening. His touchdown-to-interception ratio starting in Week 1 of last year now sits at 344.2. Harold Landry, Boston College. Landry got his first sack of the season in the loss to Wake Forest Demon Deacons and chipped in 5 more total tackles and a pass deflection. With Adam Key still on the shelf until this weekend, Landry has done well to stake his claim as the best pass-rushing, 3-down defensive end in the country. Point 3. James Washington, WR, Oklahoma State. Washington is a big play bound to happen. He took an intermediate in-breaking route to the house against South Alabama. The 66-yard score was the 7th 50-plus yard reception he's made since the start of 2016. Washington is a freaky downfield threat with a muscular build. Washington continues to get loose for the Cowboys. USATSI 4. Saquon Barkley, RB, Penn State. Barkley was, Barkley in the rivalry game victory over Pittsburgh Panthers. While it wasn't a high-volume effort, Barkley averaged 6.3 yards on 14 carries and caught 4 passes for 45 yards with a receiving score, 5. Sam Darnold, QB, Darnold's 2 picks stand out to me more so than they probably should. I mean, he only had 5 incompletions the whole night and tossed 4 touchdowns. I guess it's just the second straight game in which Helps made questionable decisions down the field and compounded those with off-target throws. On the flip side, Darnold's touchdown pass while on the run to Deontay Burnett near the front right pylon was Aaron Rodgers-like. Point 6. Lamar Jackson, QB, Louisville as outlined in this week's QB Stock Watch. Jackson was studly against North Carolina Tar Heels, like NFL quarterback prospect Studley. If the Louisville Cardinals signal caller continues to improve from within the pocket, watch out. He very well could repeat as the Heisman winner and be selected in the top 10.7. Cameron Smith, ILB, USC. Smith is everywhere. Following a total game-changing effort against Western Michigan Broncos in USC's first game of the year, the inside linebacker had 8 tackles with a half tackle for loss while beating Stanford. He's been a step faster to the football than everyone due to his advanced play recognition skills and athletic talents. Point 8. Darius Geese, RB, LSU Chattanooga. Didn't pose a significant threat to Geese or LSU Tigers on Saturday. The featured runner ran at a 6.8 yards per carry clip and reached the end zone twice. I'm still waiting for a rewatch that GIF 20 times run. From Geese this season, Geese has picked up right where he left off last season. USATSI 9. Derwin James, Florida State. James didn't play this weekend. He's still the premier safety prospect in the country. 10. Clelin Ferrell, Clemson. Ferrell was relentless in Clemson Tigers' win over Auburn Tigers, registering just 1 sack isn't special but 11 tackles from a defensive lineman is. He also had a tackle for loss and forced a fumble. Not only was Ferrell's motor constantly running, but he made plays near the line of scrimmage because of his length and superb athleticism. Point 11. Ogbonnia Okoronkwo, Oklahoma won't juice off the edge. Okoronkwo is your guy. He dismantled Ohio State Buckeyes left tackle Jamarco Jones, who has an NFL future, on more than one occasion with an array of pass-rushing moves, including a devastating, tightly wound spin. He had 2.5 tackles for loss and 1.5 sacks against the Buckeyes. 12. Quentin Nelson, G. Notre Dame. Nelson is a road-grading interior lineman with quick feet and immense power. He had his hands full against Georgia Bulldogs front but more than held his own. He's clearly the best guard prospect in the country right now. 13. Ronald Jones 2, RB, USC. Jones has entered the conversation to be the number 3 running back prospect behind Barkley and Geese. He's a sudden, non-nonsense runner with elite top-end speed and violent one-cut ability. 14. Orlando Brown Jr., OT, Oklahoma. Brown Jr. dominated against an Ohio State defensive line that can throw 3 or 4 future NFL players at you each drive. The Oklahoma Sooners left tackle looks a tick more fluid laterally than he did a season ago, which was his main weakness. From a strength standpoint, Brown Jr. is NFL ready. He showed that against Tyquan Lewis, Sam Hubbard, and Nick Bosa. 15. Cortland Sutton, WR. Sutton was almost invisible in Southern Methodist Mustangs opener. All good. The 6'4" wideout went bananas against North Texas Mean Green. He had 8 grabs for 163 yards with 4 touchdowns. Based on physical appearance alone, Sutton can be likened to Larry Fitzgerald. He's well built with a large frame and oversized catch radius. 16. Bradley Chubb, NC stat against Marshall Thundering Herd. Chubb had 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. He wins with hustle and power. His long limbs are beneficial when he's flying around the corner, too. Chubb's work ethic stands out on tape. USATSI 17. Tyquan Lewis, Ohio State. Lewis was blanked by the mammoth Oklahoma offensive line, mostly Brown Jr. after a productive opening game against Indiana, whose ears he was held off the stat sheet, besides 1 deflected pass at the line. The Ohio State product needs to show more burst off the edge to stay in the top 20.18. Deontay Burnett, WR. Burnett has been the total package for the Trojans through 2 games. Yards after the catch, speed down the field, tremendous catches with his arms extended. Burnett could use some additional weight, yet he's seemingly going to be the prime beneficiary of having Darnold at quarterback. He has 16 receptions for 263 yards with 2 touchdowns to start the year. 19. Josh Rosen, QB. UCLA. Rosen looked like freshman year Rosen against Hawaii. He was surgical, as he completed 22 of 25 passes. 1 incompletion was a drop for 329 yards with 5 touchdowns and no picks. 20. Austin Bryant, Clemson. Bryant is the Clemson defensive lineman who received the least amount of hype heading into this season. All he did against Auburn was rack up 4 tackles for loss to go with 4 sacks. Honorable mention QB Baker Mayfield, RB Royce Freeman, CB Jair Alexander, Ol Mitch Hyatt, Dorrance Armstrong Jr., Pound Dorian O'Daniel, S. Quinn Blanding, Pound Micah Kizzer, WR Jalen Smith, RB Justin Crawford. These players are close to the top 20, but fell from the last week's list. OT Mike McGlinchey, Pound Sean Dion Hamilton, DT Morris Hurst, DT Derek Nady, Pound Josie Jewell, OT Chukwuma Okorafor, CB Denzel Ward, T Mark Andrews, WR Calvin Ridley.